What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at our review for our quiz over lessons 3.4 through 3.6. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to do for number 1 is combine like terms. So we're going to combine these negative 5x's, and that gives me negative 10x minus 8 on this side is still less than 2. Then I needed to add 8 to both sides so that 10 is less than negative 10x. Finally, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 10. But because I'm dividing by negative 10, I need to flip my inequality symbol. So I get negative 1 is greater than x, or x is less than negative 1. So that graph would be an open circle pointing left. Number 2, same deal. I'm going to combine like terms first. This is 3r is less than negative 18. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3 so that r is less than negative 6. As we graph this on our number line, we get an open circle also pointing left. Number 3, it looks like I still need to combine some like terms here. So x plus 6x is 7x. So I have 7x minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 1. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I get 7x is less than or equal to 7. If I divide both sides by 7, I get x is less than or equal to 1 as my result. And when I graph this, I'm going to have a closed circle pointing left. Number 4, I distributed first. So 3 times 7n is 21n minus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 87. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Negative 87 plus 3 is a negative 84. And then I bring down my 21n. Dividing both sides by 21 just means I'm going to take negative 84 and divide it by 21. That will give me a negative 4. So n is greater than or equal to negative 4. That's going to look like this on our number line, a closed circle pointing to the right. Next up for number 5, again distributing. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6, and negative 6 times 7 is a negative 42m, greater than 246. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So I get negative 42m is greater than 252. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 42. Because I'm dividing both sides by a negative 42, I do need to flip this inequality symbol. So I get m is less than 252 divided by negative 42 is negative 6. To graph this one, that would show just an open circle above the negative 6 pointing left. Number 6, again distributing. I'm going to distribute 3 times negative 5b is negative 15b plus 9 is greater than or equal to negative 81. Subtracting 9 from both sides, I get negative 15b is greater than or equal to negative 90. Last but not least, I'm dividing both sides by negative 15, but because I'm dividing by a negative, I'm flipping my inequality symbol. So b is less than or equal to a positive 6. On my number line, that is a closed circle pointing left. Number 7, the first thing I want to do is get all my variables to one side and my numbers to the other side. But before I do that, I realize I can combine these two variables over here. 4b plus negative 4b plus 5b is 1b, and then still my greater than sign and 4b minus 9 on the other side. Then it just makes the most sense to subtract this 4b and bring it over here with 1b. So I have negative 9 is greater than negative 3b, then dividing both sides by negative 3. Because I'm dividing by a negative, I will have to flip my inequality symbol. So I get 3 is less than b, or b is greater than 3, so that when I graph it, I have an open circle pointing right. Number 8, I have negative 9 minus m is less than m minus 7. So one thing I probably want to do here is add m to the other side to join the other m. So I get negative 9 is less than 2m minus 7. And then I'm going to add 7 to both sides. When I do that, I get negative 2 is less than 2m. Dividing both sides by 2, I get negative 1 is less than m, or m is greater than negative 1. On the number line, that should be an open circle pointing right. For number 9, I've got a lot of stuff going on. So the first thing I want to do is combine like terms. I have a negative 5 and a positive 5, but when they go together, they cancel out and give me a 0. And then I have a negative 4a and a negative 5a. So that's negative 9a. So negative 9a is less than another negative 9a. If I add negative 9a to both sides, you're going to realize that they cancel out. So then I'm left with 0 is less than 0. So this is when we're going to have a special case or a special inequality. Because of our solution here, 0 is not less than 0. So this is a false statement. And anytime we get a false statement, we have to say no solution. Okay. Number 10, let's see what happens here. I'm going to distribute here first. That's 30 plus 3n is greater than or equal to negative 30 plus 8n. Let's go ahead and move my n's to one side. So I'm going to subtract 3n from both sides. I get negative 30 plus 5n is greater than or equal to positive 30. Then I add 30 to both sides, and I get 5n is greater than or equal to 60. When I divide both sides by 5, n is greater than or equal to 12. So that does give me a solution. So I can graph it, and that's a closed circle pointing to the right. Number 11, again, a lot of things going on. The best thing to do is start distributing. So on this side, the right side, I'll get negative 6 plus 7b plus 28. And on the left side, I'll have 22 plus 7b. What I would recommend is going ahead and moving the variables first, then combine like terms. 22 is greater than or equal to 22, because negative 6 added to with a 28, it gives you a 22. This is a true statement, so we can say that this is all real numbers. Okay. Number 12, again, we're distributing to start off here. So 8 times k and 8 times 3, that's 8k plus 24 plus 8k. I'm going to go ahead and combine this on this side. That means 8k plus 8k is 16k plus 24. And on the left-hand side, I still have negative 36 minus 4k. Let's go ahead and move my k's together. I'm going to add 4k to this other side. I'm going to get negative 36 still hanging out here is greater than or equal to 20k plus 24. Then we're going to subtract 24 from both sides. These 24s cancel out. 20k is left over by itself. And then negative 36 and a positive and a negative 24. That's just adding them together. 24 and a 36 gives us 60, negative. And then dividing both sides by 20, I get negative 3 is greater than or equal to k, or k is less than or equal to negative 3. That graph would be a closed circle